The Long Island Railroad began operations in 1834 as part of a ferry rail link to Boston, when the population on Long Island was 37,000. The Northern State Parkway was built in 1931. By then, the population on Long Island had soared to 464,000. Today, the population on Long Island is 2.9 million, yet we still rely on infrastructure designed for a bygone era. Meanwhile, the way we work and live has drastically changed. More congested roadways and a desire for two-way travel options during peak hours are shaping transit needs. In the past, there were other proposals that looked to expand the number of tracks on the Long Island Railroad. They were rejected for several reasons. Old plans would have impacted more than 250 properties and called for taking around 100 homes, didn't involve local residents and businesses, were poorly communicated to the public, and kept several train grade-level crossings in place. Today, there is a new plan to add a third track between Hicksville and Floral Park. The Long Island Railroad expansion project was unveiled in January and is vastly different from past plans. This new plan will build the third track within the existing railroad right-of-way, require 0 residential property takings to add a third track, modify all 7 train crossings in the corridor, and take advantage of better, faster, and more innovative construction methods to reduce impacts on the community. Adding a third track will increase service and reliability because trains will be able to run in both directions during rush hour. This will provide added service to the island in the morning and into the city in the evening. The tracks will also alleviate the bottleneck between Floral Park and Hicksville by creating space for additional trains. So if a train breaks down, it won't cause the same kind of similar delays with rippling effects to other branches. Making mass transit more attractive can also help reduce traffic congestion that plagues Long Island, getting travelers out of cars and improving air quality. Part of the project includes the modification of all 7 street-level train crossings, known as grade crossings, along the project's 9.8-mile corridor. The crossings will be altered either by adding roadway underpasses or closing them. We are working with each community to find a consensus on the best way to change each crossing, because each crossing and each community has different needs. Train crossings cause numerous problems. They impact neighborhoods with noise from train horns, crossing gate warning bells, and honking cars. Slow train travel whenever there is a problem with the gates. Increase traffic congestion and backups due to gate downtime. Increase risk to pedestrian, bicycle, and automobile safety. And raise safety concerns about response times for emergency vehicles. The goal is to alter crossings to improve safety, reduce noise, and reduce traffic backups. Long Island Railroad and the State Department of Transportation have already researched dozens of options for altering grade crossings in consultation with local officials. After eliminating less attractive options, each grade crossing now has an average of 2 concepts being considered. All concepts for the crossings can be viewed in the scoping report issued on May 5th, which is on the project's website. Unprecedented outreach has been underway for months. It includes local community group meetings, meetings with elected officials, a project website, a project walk-in community information center, and public meetings. More than 100 meetings with stakeholders have been held and will continue throughout the project. Before construction can begin, many things have to happen first, and many are required by law. The process begins with what's called a scoping document, which outlines the project's purpose and need, potential alternatives to it, and specific subjects that should be part of an environmental review. A draft scoping document was released on May 5th. A draft environmental impact statement will be released within months, which will contain more details about the project. Then more public meetings will be held in the coming months to gather input on the draft environmental impact statement. The goal is to ensure that this project is done smarter, faster, and more efficiently, with less disruption to those living near the Long Island Railroad. Community input is essential to the process and the project's success.